So back to Burning Man. Such a great place. It's a lot of background I need to give you before you're gonna get the idea. So much background, so much I could tell you. Just to set the stage, just to set the setting. I mean, what's it all about? What is it? What is it really? People talk about it being a giant party, a giant rave in the desert. What is it really? Or some kind of a spiritual pilgrimage, some kind of an awakening. It's a temporary city. It's an art festival. It's a music. It's not a festival per se. It's a do-it-yourself experience. You gotta bring all that you need out there. Don't rely on anyone else. And if you want to be entertained, well, bring that too. But everything that gets done out there is by participants. And there's some exceptions to what I just said. There's some organization, there's employees. But all that arose organically out of the community over time as was needed. The whole event is like a bottom-up experience. Like the whole thing evolved just from nothing, just from people doing what they naturally would do or what they wanted to do, intended to do. Kind of like if you know that old story about Stone Soup. Stone Soup, there was this old folk tale about a village where some strangers come into town and they don't have any food and they're asking for food and no one wants to give them anything. And so the next thing you know, these strangers from out of town pull up a pot and throw a rock in there, a stone, and instead of boiling up some water with a rock. And they say, we're making stone soup, we're going to eat stone soup. And then villagers say, well, hey, maybe I can contribute to this soup. And they put in what they have, potatoes, carrots, vegetables, whatever else, grains. The next thing you know, they have a giant pot of soup that's good for all to eat. And all it took was just a stone. Just a stone and some water and a pot. But the point here is you just throw in what you got. And that's how it came out to be Burning Man. It's not like an organization or a company came out and decided we're going to have Burning Man and had a vision of what Burning Man is today. And said, yeah, we're going to make this out in the desert. And invite people and sell tickets. It's not what happened. The first few didn't have tickets. You just went. You just showed up. You just went. And no one's charging. There's no rules. There's no gate admission. The first few were just like that. Lawless. Seriously. And now it's very lawful. It's very enforced. It's almost like any other city in some ways. It's got all the services. In some ways, but no. But also no. No trash service. You got to do that yourself. Anyway. So here's a little background about Burning Man. Here's the thing about the theme camps. This will just kind of ground you into what goes on at Burning Man, give you an idea. So theme camps are camps of people, you know, one or more, two or more, three or more, 20, 30, 50, of people with some kind of a like-minded intention, some kind of a unifying theme. And it doesn't really have to be much of anything. It's usually pretty random or vague, or just a set of words. Like, for instance, our camp now is called Pepperland, which is a vaguely Beatles-themed camp. Pepperland is sort of a Beatles reference, or a Paul McCartney reference, based on our fanship of that band and that person. So, we're Pepperland. And people come into our camp and say, what's Pepperland about? You guys have peppers? You guys have, like, ground pepper, black pepper, hot pepper, Dr. Pepper? We just, no. I mean, it's just a word. We love Dr. Pepper. That's a good treat on occasion. Anyway, we do have a Beatles party, Beatles sing-along, something like that. We have a Yellow Submarine photo opportunity in the front with an octopus garden, and you can pose with your friends with the yellow submarine and the octopus garden. The octopus garden is not in the shade, just so you know. But that's our theme camp. We have a theme, we have a camp, we have comfort, we have joy, we have... Oh, that's another camp. Comfort and Joy is another theme camp. But anyway, there's hundreds of camps that are called theme camps, and they register with the organization. The first theme camp ever that showed up to Burning Man was called Christmas Camp. And a man decided to dress up like Santa Claus and bring out Christmas gear, ornaments. I mean, he already had them, so why not? Brought him out to Burning Man, and they had a Christmas camp at Burning Man, and that was a pretty obvious theme, so that became a theme camp. And from there, it was all kind of snowballed, and now there's all theme camps of every kind, every stripe. One popular one is called Death Guild. They're like a post-apocalyptic, sort of a Mad Max universe, Beyond Thunderdome, Road Warrior style universe, post-apocalyptic. You know what that means. And that's the Death Guild, and they have a Thunderdome of their own. A giant dome that they create. And they have bungee cords strung from the ceiling, and they strap two fighters in, two people that sign up to fight, and they just want to fight each other. Maybe they have a grudge, or maybe they're usually friends. It's a friendly thing, but they go in there, and they strap into bungee cords, and they give them foam boppers, and they pull them apart on these bungee cords, let them go, and they slam into each other, and they bop each other with these boppers. They try to slam each other into the ground. I've seen a lot of people face plant in the Thunderdome. It's very fun for us to watch. And people climb up on the walls of the dome, just like in the movie Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, if you know what that is. Or just look it up. People climb up on the dome. It's a lot less barbaric than in the movie. It's very civil. You try not to hurt anybody. And the spectators, participants, don't ever become victims, become casualties, as they do in the movie. There aren't chainsaws. But anyway, it's an approximation. It's an abstraction of what is in the movie, and it's pretty good. We get into it. They have loud music. They do the whole theater thing. They do a little speech before the fight starts. The speech right from the movie, modified a little bit. Anyway, that's a theme camp. Another theme camp, another big style is the steampunk ethos, and that, I don't know that I can say that arose from Burning Man. It's probably been around much longer. Sort of a Jules Verne world, or H.G. Wells world of machinery, which is sort of revered as antiques, as very special things, not like in our world where they're kind of plastic, kind of disposable. But in the steampunk world, it's basically a universe where combustion never became a thing, and everything's running on steam. That is there's no diesel, no gasoline. Everything's running on steam, wood and coal-powered engines, and steam and clockwork is another big part. So you got a lot of gears. Everyone knows what steampunk is nowadays. But in the early days, it was like you would see a lot of steampunkers at the Burning Mans. And I'm sure they had homes elsewhere too, but now it's so mainstream, now it's almost cliche. But it still can be done very well. So steampunk is another ethos out there. And you got this hippie ethos, a lot of piecers, a lot of hippies, or kind of more raver. They kind of morphed into sort of a rave culture, where there's the furries, there's like just basically people who like to hug and put on fur outfits. It could be resembling animals, or it could just be fur. Like I do like to wear some fur sometimes. It's very nice and warm out. Wear fur at night at the playa, and it gets cold. It's a high desert, so the wind whips through, and it can get very cold at night. So if you got some furs on, it's a really nice thing. On Burning Man, I love my fur outfits. The Burning Man, I make them myself. That's the gold standard. If you can make your own outfits, you're the king. No one knows quite if you made them yourself or not. A lot of people will buy handmade outfits from other people, and they didn't make them themselves, but you can't tell that. You can sort of tell with mine because they're kind of amateurish, and they have little shortcuts that I took or little mistakes and things that I just leave in there.